Okay.
Indeed.
So, today we would like to talk about hackers, cheaters, and save editors in Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. I've got Scorched Knight, Guida Funky Man,
Hello.
and Marcus Dupree with me, and I'm Astri.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, since around March, we've had to deal with save editors, and what they do is they go into their actual saved data, edit the stats of their character, and then for Bloodborne in particular, they can edit their gems to be whatever they want. They can edit their runes, armor. They can give themselves extra gem slots and armor slots. They can do all kinds of things. So while we're talking about this, I've got a video of me encountering a hacker, Fierce Akutski, who's been around since the very beginning. So,
This guy's been hacking for that long.
yeah, he's been around for that long. So, first thing I think we should talk about is differentiating the cheaters versus the players who are not cheating, but they're still using a save editor. Now, what do you guys think of this? What would you consider cheating?
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll
Mark.
let Scorch go first. No, sorry.
Okay. Cheating, I would say, would be giving yourself a unfair advantage. Unfair advantage, or yeah, basically giving yourself an unfair advantage, whether it's, just like a sneaky advantage, like giving yourself gems that, maybe are 2% higher, 1% higher, or just that nobody else would be able to obtain without a save editor. Or then there's the unfair advantages in you can swing one R1s, they're dead, or infinite health.
Do you have that in Dark Souls 3, Marcus?
I've only dealt with one person, and that was actually during a PvP live stream I had put up after being away for so long. I think it was the 10th invasion I ran into. I didn't know that the other guy was hacking, because my whole intention was on the host, and I didn't realize he started hacking until I decided to go after him. And his name was literally Dark Souls 3 hack. He took no damage almost. He pretty much damage was being dealt to him, but it was like 100 or at least like 80 damage per hit. And the other host wasn't hacking. The actual host of the whole area was not hacking. It's just his friend was hacking. The hacker pretty much had infinite mana points. He kept using Soothing Sunlight to heal the host. And in the end, we did kill him, but that didn't get the fact that the guy was hacking.
Right.
That's pretty much my only hacking experience in Dark Souls 3. As for Bloodborne, I don't particularly PvP in Bloodborne, so I can't really say. I know that you and Scorch go through a lot of that, so you guys have more experience with dealing with hackers in Bloodborne, pretty much.
Indeed.
Okay.
That's pretty much that experience.
So, what would you consider the acceptable use of a save editing program?
None at all.
Okay.
I mean, I know in Dark Souls 2, hacking was pretty bad. PC-wise. Console-wise, only thing I ran into like a one hacker who had like a one-shot weapon, but after that, I haven't ran into anything else. There are people who hacked for different reasons. They would have these little special, unique abilities, but they were still killable. A lot of people were okay with that, but it doesn't get the fact that they're still hacking. You can still do a lot of dangerous shit with that. But I guess people call that fun hacking, I guess. But I still don't approve of it at all. It's still hacking. You're still pretty much doing shit inside the game. You can do far worse with that. But honestly, nowadays people are just hacking just to make people just make the game hard for players to play with in terms of PvP wise. I don't know if it was born from hatred of invading. I know there are a lot of people who go through a lot of shit when you're a new Dark Souls player. You hate getting invaded, and you just want to just stop it all. But then you start hacking to like kill other players because you're pissed off that you lose in like in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I can understand that. But that's part of the game. You can play offline if you want to. If you want to hack, do it offline. If you're gonna hack while online, you need to just stop playing the game at all, or just do something else with your life. But you
Mm-hmm.
know, I play these games to have fun, not to just run into immature man children who want to hack the game because they're bad at the fucking game. Just it needs to fucking stop.
Okay.
That's just that.
Basically.
You know?
How about you, Scorched?
It was what's acceptable, right?
Yeah. What do you think is an acceptable
For
use?
me, acceptable use. I think I have three. One would be to dig through the files to find things that were removed from the game, educational purposes.
Mm-hmm.
The other would be unobtainable armor, in the sense that it's just armor that they removed, or like the Grandma outfit or the Queen Annalise set. I've seen there's no harm in it. Actually, the physical defense, the defenses of those are probably pretty bad because it's not fully developed.
Right.
So honestly, they're almost giving themselves a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're acceptable, and a lot of people don't necessarily agree with me on this, but it doesn't break the game. Is giving yourself gems that are obtainable, and they're not like the rarest gems in the game, like the 23% nourishing, like solid 23% nourishing, or those HP, um, or like those HP.
Pulsing gems?
Yeah, exactly. So if they're obtainable in the game and you give yourself them, or if they're purely for aesthetic or um, aesthetic purposes, then I see no issue at all.
Okay. So I think that we kind of need to define obtainable. I personally consider it gems that have a reasonable drop rate, like
Yeah.
tempering. Tempering for the Merciless Watchers is a 70% drop rate. So if someone gives themselves a full set of 27.2% tempering gems with, say, all king curses, I personally don't have a problem with that. I think it's just making a build to try something new, and that's what we've been doing in the series for a long time. The Dark Souls 1 Mega Mule allowed everyone to do that. It was made with save editing, and it was provided to everyone at no charge. It was not something that you had to pay for. It was a file that Dom by Bomb actually made and distributed for everyone to use for PvP and PvE purposes.
Definitely.
In Dark Souls 2, the Mega Mule was released by Dom by Bomb. I think it was around a month after the game's release. And what happened is people who hadn't finished the game at that point because they were busy or they were making new characters, people like me who just didn't have a lot of time to play, were meeting these players that were not only overleveled for their soul memory level, but they were also using maximum upgraded everything and destroying everyone. It was the maximum twink effect. It was extremely easy to do.
Right.
He caught a lot of crap for doing it, and I can understand why. But I'm kind of wondering, why has no one made a Mega Mule for Bloodborne as compared to the other games in the series? It's been out for 2 years, more than 2 years. So I'm just kind of wondering, what do you guys think the reason for that might be?
Real quick, why don't we get Gita's opinion on what's acceptable?
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't heard him talk in a minute. Like, I guess Is
How
he
about
still
you,
there?
Yeah.
Guida? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's the gem
Yeah, I get
system,
it.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah. Dark
that's what I'm
Souls
getting.
has like I think what pretty much he's trying to say is that like I mean when it comes to Dark Souls like you can pretty much get that whenever Dark Souls 1 to 2. Bloodborne it's completely different when it comes to like trying to attain something. That's pretty much what I think you're trying to say, right? Uh Gideon. Is that what you
Okay.
mean pretty much? Yeah.
Uh, so what do you think are what are Gita, what are like acceptable uses of the save editor in your mind? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Mm-hmm.
So, Guida, do you see any reasoning for a Mega Mule not being created for Bloodborne as compared to the other games, Dark Souls 1 and 2, which both had a Mega Mule that was distributed for free? Why do you think we haven't had a Mega Mule? Mm-hmm. So, the next point I would like to talk about is why has Sony and From Software ignored the issue? Why do you think they haven't done anything? Because
That's a
they're not banning anyone. They don't Sony doesn't have a reporting system. They actually removed that a while back, and a lot of players are under the impression that you can still report others for cheating. However, when you go to their profile, you can't do that anymore. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
How about you, Scorch?
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird because they seem to remove cheaters from the leaderboards, but they don't. I don't see why they even bother doing that if they don't actually like do any like they won't. I mean, it's just weird because they'll remove people from the leaderboards, but they don't seem to really care about anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's kind of
and
bizarre.
I can confirm that with Cass on Do and Woodchuck 2 Grass Squirrel. Neither has been removed, both have been submitting dregs, and if you look at their profiles, their character on the registry, you'll see that they have modified stats. Like Woodchuck 2 Grass Squirrel will have 165,000 HP with a wheel that has no gems and 98 in every stat at level 120. Then when you look at Cassandou, he's got weapons that have over 10,000 AR in all 4 slots. He has the 65,000 HP. He's got the edited stats that are all 99,999 or something like that. And when you meet them, when you actually meet them in combat, they are invincible. So, yeah, they're still there, and for some reason there's just no check in place for that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
I guess that I mean, if you want to look at this in a realistic way, I mean, as much as Dark Souls is one of the popular games among the From Software series, I'm surprised that they still, even throughout all this time, even throughout the rest of the Soul games, they have never really done anything about it or tried to plan ahead. I mean, I'm not sure why I mean, at this time, people should really see into how many people hack these games. Even in From Software Japan, I'm sure they deal with a lot of hacking on a daily basis, because Japan, I think Korea, has probably one of the highest amounts of hacking throughout that community. It's true. But I don't think they have any plans to really do anything about it. I mean, we might still have active people playing these games, but I mean, we're gonna have to be honest that we're not probably gonna get anything done about this at all, because they're gonna try and look towards the future. Miyazaki is looking towards the future. From Software, I don't know if they'll have any types of like any plans to try and do anything, or even a sweep of hacking throughout Dark Souls or Bloodborne. We could still try our best to try and get them to notice this, but I mean, they will probably just toss it aside. And it's sad, but that's pretty much probably the truth about it.
Yeah, and the whole problem stems from the fact that PlayStation 4 does not have protected save data. For the PS3, save data was protected so that you couldn't just stick a USB into your PlayStation, download your save data, plug it into a computer to mod it, and then stick it back into the PlayStation. They did this for convenience, and it is great because you can back up your save data to an external drive. I personally use a USB stick to back up my save data because I don't... It's a lot faster and easier to use the USB drive with backing up your data. It takes a lot less time to load the data and to back it up. But the whole problem stems from the fact that you can download your save data onto a USB and transfer it to a computer with ease. There's no issue there. It was possible, but it was a lot harder to do.
So wait, it's easier to do on PS4 than PS3?
Yes, because they unprotected the save data so that you can download it on a USB. That's the whole reason that players are so easily able to edit their save data, because they can transfer it to a computer without any sort of workarounds the PS3's block save data system. Yep, exactly.
That is, well, I can say for one thing that pretty much shows the technology of the 21st century. that like a newer generation console is easier to hack into than an old generation console. I don't know why that's a thing, but
They
okay.
they did it purely for convenience of players who are not going to use it to cheat. They did it so that you could just back up your save data without any sort of roadblock, but it backfired.
I fucking
Yep.
know it.
So, another thing I wanted to
Now we're in
touch
a hot
on,
mess.
and I know that you said you don't really, this issue doesn't really bother you, but with regard to websites, there are some websites who are shutting down the conversation, the dialogue, where hacking and cheating is being discussed in a non-harmful way, in an informative way, not in the sense that they're actually teaching players how to do it, but they're actually saying, hey, this is a problem, this is how you prevent meeting someone who's hacking. And a lot of these posts have been removed because of the false pretense that it is a witch hunt or personal vendetta.
Yep.
So, I've personally
I
had
myself was
posts
targeted by
removed.
that.
I've had posts removed. I tried to talk about my blacklist on Reddit, and the post was promptly removed. I did not get any sort of notification that it was removed. It was just removed without any sort
Was it
of
freaking
threat.
Reddit Illuminati?
It seems so. So,
They
Scorch,
really want to try and keep hacking around that much that they want to remove posts between the blacklists like that? Really?
well, that's the thing. It's the Reddit moderators that are deciding to remove the posts, and it's the excuse that they
Yeah.
give is that it's a witch hunt or personal vendetta.
Yep. I mean, with
Do you
me,
think it was
what they... Go on.
sorry.
Go ahead, Scorch.
What I was gonna say with me, what happened was I mean, they targeted me kind of. It was kind of weird how they went after me because I made posts about this before, and they didn't. I didn't get in trouble for it. I told them where they could go to talk about it because they couldn't talk about it there. It was against the rules. I told them that. And that's what they flagged me for literally saying you can message me about it and I can tell you where to go. That's what I got in trouble for and threatened with a ban. It was kind of like I'm not, and apparently that's part of their rules is um, if you try to go around the rules, you'll get in trouble for that too. So yeah, that was a little like, huh? I didn't even, and then like the whole thing they sent me was how like you can't talk about like telling people to troll others online or in real life. I'm like, did I tell anybody to troll anybody? All I said was where to go so we can get these people blocked so new players don't run into them. How discouraging would you think it'd be if you how discouraging you think it'd be if you go if you're a new player, you get to when you're like, oh, I'll try out the co-op and the PvP. You get on, and you encounter all those hackers from a blacklist. Because some of them are still active. Some of them are inactive, of course. But people are like, oh, they're probably not all active anymore. Well, one of the first hackers on the list, cheaters on the list, is still out there because I recently added a video to Blacklist of said person doing the same crap they've been doing since beginning of when the save editor came out. So they're still around. So imagine going in without any of those people blocked as a new player. It's just yeah.
I don't know how many times we're going to tell you guys. I mean, I'm pretty sure you know by now. Reddit is no place to be at all. No matter what the place is, no matter what game it is, it's always going to be a shitty place to be. Especially in the Souls. Souls Reddit is probably the worst out of all of them, different from other topics that I really want to talk about. But there are people there who are probably the worst of the whole Souls community, the people who really just want to make it a shitty experience for a lot of people hacking and in turns for a lot of other stuff. Reddit is a shitty place, and then many YouTubers such as Angry Joe gets the main hate. That's where all his trolls come from, is from freaking Reddit. And it's because the most stupid and most pathetic people are on Reddit, and if they don't see something they like, they will attack it, such as your guys' blacklist stuff. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this. Reddit is not a place to fool around with at all. I tried it, and I quickly left it alone and deleted my account. And I'm just not going to put up with any of that. I've been on channels. But that's just, you know.
See, the reason we went there is just because it's the biggest avenue we can get to,
pretty much show off, like,
you know, to get these people removed. That's where most eyes would see it. But instead, you know, you get in trouble for it. So it's I mean, the FD group is good, and some of the other places are pretty good. But it's just, that's the reason why everybody tries to do it there, is because that was just the biggest, you know, the biggest apple on the tree that we could possibly go for.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Guida? Haven't heard from you in a while.
You fall asleep.
Maybe. You still there, Guida?
The Frenchman is falling asleep.
I think so. Forrest, did your door close somewhere in your room?
Is what? Somewhere what?
Did, like, someone walk into your room?
No.
Okay, that's what I must have been Guida I heard earlier. I heard a door close.
Maybe he went to the drink or something.
Alright, so...
That's probably what happened.
Go ahead.
What? Oh,
It sounded like you were just... It sounded like you were gonna say something.
By the way, earlier, when we were talking about the Mega Mule stuff, honestly, Mega Mule's like probably like what I said, or like pretty much said earlier about it. It's a different technology in the system, probably. Like you said, like is there a Mega Mule Dark Souls 3, right?
Probably not. Yeah, maybe there is. It's new enough to where I don't think there would be.
Is that Guida right now?
Is that you, Guida?
Yeah, I told you I planned to go do something.
Yes, we did. We
topic
didn't
of,
know that you were gone.
We were on the topic of the Reddit Illuminati.
So what we were talking about is Reddit. We were talking about how Reddit is handling this hacking issue. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
See, no, that's some bullshit. That's some goddamn bullshit. Number one, I wanted to go, this is some cover-up. This is some, like, deep government bullshit. They want hacking to stay around. That's why they don't want nobody to be warned. They don't want to warn anybody. They want nobody to be informed and no new players. See, this is why I don't fool everybody who's on Reddit besides you guys and probably other people I probably know. They're all in on it. It's all a big fucking conspiracy. They want hacking to stay around. They want everybody. You think I'm joking, but I'm dead serious about this shit. But this right here is some bullshit, man. This is why Reddit are full of a bunch of fucking dumbass motherfuckers, man. Over here, it's against the rules to post the links to the blacklist. Whatever. I'm black and I'm not listed. The fuck? No, I just don't like Reddit. I don't like Reddit. I don't like people on Reddit. Everybody who's on Reddit is just a bunch of especially the Souls community. No. Not even. It's ridiculous. Like, you can't even warn anybody on Reddit about hacking without them breaking the rules, quote unquote.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to touch on. Scorch, how was your experience with sharing the blacklist or any cheater experiences on the Facebook group?
Oh, well. Well, first few times were fine, and then I went to. Then it was really good. I got some weird responses on the second video. I got to the. Yeah, it was about the third video, and I uploaded it, and all of a sudden I get, a response, and basically what happened was this guy was using the bow blade. I dodged all of his hits. I hit him about 5 times without getting hit, and then he hits me with an R1. Okay. And what happens is I end up getting trolled out of existence by like 4 people, and then there's one guy sent a message as well. And they basically all said I was bad at the game. And nothing, I mean, the moderators eventually did something about it, but nothing was done about it until like basically like the next day. So I'd say there's definitely defenders in all the groups, but I don't know, it was pretty silly.
It's tough to keep telling you.
It was disappointing to see.
Keep telling y'all, man.
To see so many people willing to defend such a thing.
Reddit, this is what I'm going to be saying from now on. Reddit is full of the worst type of souls. There'll be some, I don't know. It's like, I guess I can't say that it's like the worst place because it has an equal amount of cool people. I can't say that for sure. I've never really tried to be that active on there. They're full of a bunch of quote unquote pro players who do a bunch of shitty ass tactics and they think they're good. And where Reddit is full of nothing more than bitches. It's the bitches hiding place for all the stupid stuff to go to. All the stupid shit. Keep telling you guys, stop fooling with it. It's no use. You might as well just build your own community. That's the best thing to do. Anybody who wants to act a fool gets drop kicked in the teeth.
Well, I have some good news. I posted to Fextra Life last night the issues of hackers, save editors, and cheaters in multiplayer. This was in the Bloodborne general discussion. I shared my blacklist. I shared the document form, the Google Doc form of my blacklist, and just described what cheaters are doing, how there's no consequences thus far, that Sony and From Software are ignoring the issue, so it's up to us to block these players. And I've got 7 upvotes and no dislikes. I also got a comment, who would even brag about something like a 1.5 million AR bow blade? Hey guys, look how hard I gave up at being good. Gross.
basically.
Oh, by the way, that's really cool. By the way, good job on that. Who is this one guy I see in the comments with the that ugly ass Donald
That is
picture
a
on? Who
hacker,
is he?
Woodchuck 2 Grass Squirrel. He's the one that's been running around Frontier a lot with a one-hit KO Evelyn. And he usually cosplays as Annalise with the dress and whatnot. He basically edited the game so that he's invincible and he can kill you in one shot with anything he wants.
And he brags about that.
Yep, he does. He thinks it's hilarious, and he'll taunt you after he kills you.
Yep.
I bet he's from Reddit.
I met one of his buddies. I invaded him in Frontier. His buddy was using hacks. He had no HP bar, and he was pretty much invincible. So I talked to him about it, and I said, hey, so, you know, I know you're hacking. You'd better not use it in multiplayer. And he said he's been using it in random co-op. I tried explaining to him that it's breaking the game when he does that. And all I got in response to it was a bunch of pictures of his fugly characters that he's hacked. The only reason I put him on the list is because he wasn't even willing to talk to me about it and understand the viewpoint that what he's doing is cheating other players out of a proper game experience. He's basically making the game trivial for others, anyone that he helps, which is not going to add to anyone's enjoyment of the game.
And I'm gonna go on a limb and say his response is what he doesn't care, doesn't he?
No, he didn't care. And once he went on the blacklist, Woodchuck 2 Grass Squirrel started trolling my channel, commenting, oh, that's my friend. He said that about Cassandou and Told Blood. And then he started bragging about his 1.5 million AR bowblade like that's anything to brag about. It was very backwards thinking. So that's pretty much what we have to deal with.
You know, I actually did see that comment. I went to his YouTube channel. On the bright side, he sounds like a fuckboy. He sounds like generic ass, like white blonde hair, white kid, always a fucking bitch to everybody. So there's a bright side about that. So he's a fuckboy. I can already tell.
I gotcha.
But then again, see, this is why I just won't understand how the knowledge of it's okay to hack a game. It's not okay to hack a game. There are people who grow up playing games and always like, I want to play online with a friend. And this is the type of shit you gotta put up with. You come here, you relax, you're gonna like, just want to play a game that you're passionate about. Something you do care about. And then there's these people that go around and want to ruin your experience. Oh, it's just a game, bro. No. You're fucking sorry. You're a sorry ass motherfucker who hacks online just to make everyone's life a living hell because your life's a piece of shit. That's...
Basically, that's what they're doing.
And yet, Sony and From Software, they're just sitting by with their dicks in their hand, not even giving one fucking care at all.
It seems
Just,
not.
Ugh. And you know, the funny thing is, there was a YouTuber, Ouroboros the Ninja. He had a chance to ask Miyazaki some questions. They didn't ask anything about the hacking. They just wanted to know about the PvP of the game. Why not ask what they're going to do about hacking? These are the sorriest questions I've ever heard in my entire life. I understand you want to know about the game, but why don't you want to ask, oh, what the PvP this, PvP that? Ask about what you're going to do about hacking in the future. it would have brought an attention to them to do something about it. Because they're not going to do nothing about it. They're not going to worry about it. This, oh my god, I'm just venting at this point. I'm sorry about that, guys.
No, it's frustrating. It is. I mean, something should have been done a long time ago about this, and it's just being ignored.
You got other companies, development companies that do stuff about hacking. Overwatch is doing shit about hacking. Call of Duty even did something about hacking. Neverwinter, I think, other free-to-play games, they're doing shit about hacking. Free-to-play games now.
Pretty much.
And they are doing this way ahead of From Software and other games and other companies. Games that don't have any other story aspects. There's nothing but PvP and like other stuff. They do stuff about hacking all the time. Overwatch had a massive sweep of people, leaving hackers salty and pissed off. I want to see that on Dark Souls. I want to see hackers. I want to see old games get swept of hacking.
Agreed.
But no, we just sit here leaving it to players who do truly care about the game. Now that's cool. I like that. I like that a community would gather together. We're on a mission to get rid of like warring players about hacking, to get rid of it. We're doing more than the developers ever do. It's a cool thing, but at the same time it's sad. It leaves you thinking, what are the developer or the company doing about this? Absolutely nothing. Like America doing shit about North Korea is not gonna happen. But anyway, that's pretty much what I gotta say for it.
I completely understand.
There's also somebody in my stream chat, the Ember Undead, actually, he said if they kept the original bleed mechanic from Dark Souls 1, hackers would be no problem. That's also true. That was a viable way. I'm pretty sure you guys remember the what was it, the Gold Tracer?
Yes. So the thing about that with Bloodborne is that we do have something like that, but the whole problem is the hackers can give themselves any amount of resistance to it, which completely nullifies it. You can't possibly kill them if they decide to give themselves that resistance.
That's true. I gotta also remember, this isn't 2011 anymore, man. Hacking has evolved from a big standpoint, and it was a good thought at first, but this isn't 2011 anymore. Even if like people have found new ways to evolve hacking, it's scary how far they can go to do some stupid shit. But I even think that the hacker I fought had poise turned on, the actual poise system too, which was also interesting. But that's not only as much we can do about it, so just block them. They're killable, yes, but you know, I'm actually waiting on some troll to come by in the chat and say hacking is good. I'm waiting to ban his ass.
Oh, I got a comment on my stream. I hate Bloodborne PvP. Dark Souls 3 is better, but Bloodborne is my favorite.
I don't
get that, but
I don't necessarily have a problem with Bloodborne PvP. I tried it. It's not that bad. It's pretty much just baiting, I guess. Hacking on PC will always be worse than console. That is true, because PC you're more flexible to do what the hell you want.
But who's to say that this hacking issue isn't going to get as bad as PC, if not worse?
It probably actually will get bad as PC if we don't do something faster about it. But at the same time, we'll also need the help of
Sony and the developers.
Software.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing our job as much as we can, but there will be a time we'll need help from the developers and like the company itself, and it's like not getting that anytime soon. Who knows? Maybe it's will turn out in the future.
Right.
Well, I think we've about covered everything. I'm gonna have to go. But thanks for chatting with me about it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in the chat and we can continue talking about some stuff though, if you guys like.
Alright.
I'm probably gonna leave the stream up for like an hour longer. I need like at least past the 1 hour mark before just ending it at 45 minutes.
I
Okay.
gotcha.
Here's the problem. People like having a sort of advantage over anyone because people have a superiority complex. Oh, that's also a thing of the Dark Souls community. Superiority complexes.
Alright, before you get into that, I have to go. Take care.
Okay,
Alright.
definitely.
Thanks, Guida.
Definitely. Have a
And
good one,
thus
Nancy.
ends my stream.
Right.
I'll kiss my black ass. Cause